Hello everyone, welcome back to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at The Lost Hero, Chapter 29, Leo. Now this was a pretty long chapter, and a lot of stuff happened. First, they left the mall, okay? Jason, Leo, Piper, they defeated Medea, and they're flying off. And they feel kind of tense, like, is she gonna come back? But she doesn't come back. She's gone. So they start to relax a little bit. And then Jason and Leo, they try to get some information out of Piper because she just seems a little down, a little worried. They heard some stuff about her father. They're trying to fill in the gaps, but Piper doesn't want to talk about it. And eventually she just says, you know what, I'm tired. And she just kind of leans against Jason and falls asleep. Jason tells Leo, hey man, you're really sleepy. Why don't you go to sleep? I will hold on and fly the dragon. Leo decides to go to sleep. And as he goes to sleep, there's kind of this hello, is this working? And there's like a broken radio. And he starts to have this dream where he sees his father. And his father is ugly. He has like these, I don't know if they're like pimples or what, but they're like these red bumps all over his face. It looks like someone had like punched him really hard, so he had bruises. He just looks ugly. And Leo's just like, oh, what's going on? There's even this part where Leo's looking and it looks black and white. Okay, so you can only see things in black and white. And then Hepatus kind of hits the machine, and then color comes on. But in the color, Leo's dad looks uglier, and Leo's like, oh, go back to black and white. He doesn't want to see the color. It's pretty funny. Leo's pretty bitter and angry to see his dad because he hasn't seen him in 15 years. Why now? And so he's kind of hard on Hepatus. Well, Hepatus tries to explain to Leo a little bit about what's going on and how Zeus and the other gods, they feel a little embarrassed because Percy Jackson and the other gods, other demigods, they defeated the Titans. And if Zeus had one plan, demigods had another plan. If Zeus followed his plan, then everyone would have died. And so at first they felt really thankful, but then they started to get a little jealous. And there was this part that, Percy Jackson wasn't Zeus's son, right? So Zeus kind of feels, like shy or embarrassed about it. And so Hepatus is kind of explaining this to Leo. And he's saying that's why Zeus kind of closed off Olympus and why he doesn't want to hang out or talk to the children. And then Hepatus gives this really important lesson where he talks about the two different parts of creation in the story. He says there's an earth part and there's an air part. And the air part and the earth part had different children. And, there's different parents and things like that. And, the Titans killed their parents. And then the gods were born from the Titans. And the gods killed the Titans. And then the earth was angry, and so the earth made giants as children, and so all this stuff kind of gives us a little history lesson of what's going on and how the gods were created, and why they have these battles. And the giants came from a really dark place. And then I believe, Hepatus tries to encourage Leo. Okay, the dream is about ready to end. Zeus kind of knows, oh, something's wrong. Someone's talking to one of the demigods. And so he just tries to say, hey, Leo, you're really important. Some of your friends might die. Some of your tools might get lost, but don't give up. Okay, it happens, and it's okay. And Leo's like, what are you talking about? And that is when he wakes up. Well, some vocabulary. Upstart. Upstart is kind of a way to call someone when they're being rebellious. Like a starting of a rebellion. We can call them an upstart group or something like that. So Percy Jackson, even though he's a hero, he's a little bit, he's more of a hero for humans than a hero for the gods, right? Because when Percy Jackson won, and they're like, Percy Jackson, we will give you immortality. Percy Jackson says, nah, I'm okay. I want to be human. But please take care of your children. And the gods are like, who? Oh! They're so angry that Percy would talk to them in that way, refuse their gift, and tell them to be better parents. So they kind of think of him as an upstart, kind of a rebel. Not super bad, because he did so much good, but just different than them. Stuck in Zeus's caw. This is a really old expression. Stuck in his caw, stuck in her caw. There are some birds, and they have this part in their neck, I believe. You can Google this and look it up in science and stuff yourself. But they have this part here, and then they eat rocks. Okay, the birds actually eat rocks, and then the rocks stay here. And so then when the birds eat some seeds or something, it goes down, and then they have muscles, and the muscles crunch it with the rocks, and then all goes down. But sometimes a bird gets a rock that's too big, and it gets stuck in here. The little rocks can go down, and they go through the bird's body, but the big rocks, they get stuck, and they won't go down. And so, when we say something's bothering you, or something you can't, it's too big to ignore, we can say it's stuck in your caw, or Hephaestus said stuck in Zeus's caw in this case. And caw is the part in your neck where birds would hold the rocks. The last one here, Wheel of Fortune. This one's a little bit hard to explain because it was like a game show in America. It's old. It might still be on today, but it's very, very old. And you would spin this wheel, click, 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 and then when it landed, you would get some prize or no prize or some challenge. I don't know. I never watched it, but it was a very famous game show. The discussion question I would like to ask you is, what would you say or do to Hephaestus if you were Leo? Okay, imagine you're an orphan. Well, Leo had his mom, okay? But then his mom died and he was all alone by himself for years. But imagine you had a dad and you never saw your dad. Your dad was never in your life. And then one day just, hey son, it's me, or daughter, I'm your dad. What would you do? What would you say? Can you imagine how Leo would feel? For the second discussion question, I would really appreciate it if you made your own. Okay, write it in the comments so that way other students can read it and then prepare for their answer. All right, well, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me for another book club preview. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.